Day, the official charts, and National Album Day, and proudly in association with Bowes and Wilkins. My name is Jess Izzat. Thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to say that our guests this evening are DMA'S to talk all about their brilliant new album, How Many Dreams. If you're new to the Record Club, we're going to be spending the next half an hour talking to the DMAs about the brilliant new record, and then we're going to be putting forward your questions about the album to answer. So if there is anything that you'd like to know about the new record, whether it's about a certain song, maybe the artwork, or a particular lyric that you've enjoyed, make sure to drop us a question in the comments section below. And I'm going to be asking a selection of them in the second half of our chat. And on top of that, one lucky person who sends in a question today is going to be randomly selected to win a pair of Bowes and Wilkins PX7 over-ear noise-cancelling headphones. I mean, the album sounds great in them, so don't miss out. Get your questions to us. I also have the new record here in my hand. So if you haven't already got yourself a copy, we thoroughly recommend that you order one from your local record store once our chat with the band is over. So let's get straight into this week's Record Club and say a big hello to Jonny from DMA'S. Jonny, how are we doing?
What's cracking?
Yeah, I'm good. You're in the UK. Whereabouts in the UK are you?
I'm currently backstage at the Corn Exchange in Cambridge.
Okay. Have you been to Cambridge before?
I have, but I think we always play on the outskirts of town, so I'd never actually been in the city before, and it's bloody beautiful.
Yeah, it's so nice, isn't it? People there are really smart as well.
Yeah, no, we were laughing about that before.
Yeah. Right. So every single week on the Record Club, we kick things off with a question from one of the many amazing independent record stores in the UK. And today's question comes from Record Corner UK in Godalming in Surrey. Have you been to Surrey?
Have I been to Surrey? I think so.
Probably. You've been over quite a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been coming over for years. I kind of lose track.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair because you're bopping from place to place. Well, they're asking, as an Australian band, who are your favourite Aussie artists at the moment?
At the moment, I'd probably pick Confidence Man. Those guys are cool. They're fun. They made some money back home. Maybe my brother's band. They're called Planet.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're working on a new record at the moment. And then they just released their debut record maybe a year ago.
What's it called?
Information Overload. So that's cool. And who else?
What kind of band are they? Are they like following in the footsteps of DMA'S?
They kind of like a bit like the Verve or something like that.
Oh, cool. Right,
Yeah.
gotta check them out.
Yeah.
You say Planet. How would we find them?
Probably just best on Instagram maybe, or they're on Spotify.
I imagine Googling or Instagramming Planet, you might get some like.
I told him that.
Spacey.
I said, I don't know. I think you should put a double T or something on it because if you look up like Planet Band, it's like best band on the planet, worst band on the planet, and it's like you need a good name, a good band name that's easily Googleable.
Yeah,
it's very important these days. It's half the battle, you know.
Also, like the way you say it, unless you become really well known, the battle is like people actually being able to spell it after you've said it.
Yes. That's the first thing I think about if I'm ever starting up a new band name.
DMA'S, nice and easy.
DMA'S is pretty. Unless you get the digital music awards, I don't know something like that. Yeah, and there's another band called King Stingray who are a really great Australian rock band.
So this is cool.
Yeah,
I feel like we should make a playlist of suggestions. This is good.
Yeah.
All right, well, Jonny, we were just chatting before we went live. I know that you are currently top 3 in the race for number 1 this week in the UK, alongside Boy Genius and Melanie Martinez for the UK album charts. How are you feeling about this? Like, what does this kind of thing mean to you guys as a band?
Oh, it's huge to us, you know, especially because we're not from the UK, you know. So like, you know, it's just kind of thinking about when we first started writing songs, you know, 10 years ago or something like that, in my little apartment in the inner west of Sydney. And yeah, to be in the running of like the top three, it's pretty surreal. So we're chuffed.
Yeah, that is it's pretty huge. I feel like the race for it as well just makes it like so much more exciting. So obviously if we've got some super fans or just, you know, people backing you guys or they're umming and ahhing about getting the album this week, I feel like it's important, isn't it? I've got mine in my hand. How is it for you having like a record as well? Like what does vinyl mean to you as well?
Oh, I love vinyl. Mainly because like you finally get like the artwork is so important, you know, and you kind of don't get the real gist of it um, uh, on a CD or on a cassette, you know.
Mm.
Um, Also, I've just got lots of nostalgic memories of playing vinyl um, with my father, which is cool, and going through his vinyl collection. And and yeah, it's just beautiful. I love the way, you know, it opens up. It's we try and do like I like the heavy 180 gram, you know, like when you're holding a vinyl and it's bloody,
Weighty.
yeah, it's weighty. It's got integrity.
How did you guys pick the I don't want to say mug shots, but they kind of are like mug shots, aren't they?
Yeah. Hal Pesh is this kind of quite well-known photographer who he's photographed a lot of people in that. He's got this old Polaroid camera, like really old, okay, one, yeah. And he takes photos of he's done quite a lot of pretty famous people, and he's kind of got a vibe. And if you are on the inside sleeve, you can see all of the there you go on the other side, yeah, there you go.
The big reveal.
Yeah.
What's this one?
That was one because it's there's a setting on the camera where you can put the photo um where you get one each. So those photos were taken, like those photos of the three of us were taken
Oh yeah.
consecutive, and then it just leaves the third last one blank.
Oh, you should have maybe had like the photographer or like whoever you consider your fourth band member.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, obviously people at home, if you haven't already, support your local record store, go grab one. I also noticed I had a lot of fun on the website, the A's, is it the A's or the D's? Some of the letters are just like rolling off and then you've like continued it onto here as well. So that's pretty sick.
I love those scattered letters. And if you open the inside, actually, of the not of that bit, yeah, of the main bit
I didn't
of
know
the
I could
main.
do this.
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
scared
of
I'm
the.
going to break it. I don't think I have the official.
Oh, no, of the yellow bit. Sorry, of the main. Yeah. If you open the inside of that.
I don't know if I can. I don't think I have one.
Oh, you've only got the. Sorry, you've only got the. Yep.
You're going to see me tearing up my new vinyl. I'll be really
On our other one, we've got the gatefolded ones, and that
Yeah.
opens up. It says DMA'S, which is cool. It's what the it's what our fans chant when at the gigs. They go DMA'S.
Oh mate, I'm gonna need to buy a new one then, aren't I? Because otherwise I'm gonna be tearing this one up. Yeah, no, but you know what? I was having a think about this, and obviously all the like digital stuff that you have going on. I remember being introduced to your band a long time ago. I was on a surfing trip. There were a couple of Aussies, and we were camping, and they were just playing DMA's nonstop. At the time,
Whoa.
obviously, I don't know what record it was, but I just kind of fell in love. And then now you've gone a bit more, I guess, slightly more electronic. And
Yes.
with the sounds, I guess the production as well, I imagine having time over lockdown probably contributed to that. Maybe just the evolution of sound. But I feel like your imagery has sort of gone with that too. Would that be right to say?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Matt DeJong designed the whole album art and like the new football jerseys we did, but yeah, you're definitely right. The basically we were in lockdown, and you know you got to find silver linings. So we just spent a lot of time in the studio and like kind of experimenting with side. You know, because we're very much, when we started, this is very much just a guitar-driven kind of '90s throwback band, and I guess we've always been quite curious people in general, and you know, we love discovering different genres of music, almost like it's a jigsaw puzzle. You know, I love discovering different genres and trying to work out how to piece them all together sonically in the computer and stuff like that, and yeah, and so I guess this is just something different for us, and it's really good. It makes it gives the live show a little bit more dynamics, you know, rather than just being kind of like, you know, the one kind of genre. And I kind of feel like this particular album, it's kind of got something for everyone on it. It's got like the dance rocky stuff. It's got the ballads, and it's also got just like straight up kind of more jangly rock stuff as well.
Yeah, for sure. So the opener is also the title track, How Many Dreams, with a question mark, which I guess for us Brits makes it sound more like an Aussie accent with the inflection at the end. Yeah, like what? So talk to me. Why was this track the title track? Did you put it first in the album because of that? Like, what was the decision making, and at what point did this become the title of the album?
I remember when I'd kind of like pieced together a lot of the track, when I was writing it. I kind of wrote it almost as an instrumental at first, um, and then quite late into the song, the "How many dreams to find" in the chorus bit, that bit would come in, but I didn't have any verses or anything like that. There was no middle eight. There was literally just this hook, which is the chorus now. And one thing I thought with this track is one thing is like the gigs have been getting bigger, I'll find myself in the studio imagining opening like a show, and kind of making it a little bit more theatrical, and having the synths and the ambience and stuff like that. So that's one thing. As the gigs have got bigger, I think about that more in the studio. And yeah, but basically, like, it was kind of meant to be a live instrumental track, and it just works so well as an opener. And I love that "How Many Dreams" is the opening line in it, but it doesn't come in for a couple of minutes into the track, and it just really sets the tone for the record as well.
Yeah, yeah, of course. You've mentioned there, obviously, with your live stuff, like that must just be where the music for you comes alive as well. What is your favorite part of the process, though? Is it, the writing and recording and like getting excited for it, or maybe touring and actually getting the tunes out there? Because I know with these albums, you must have had like quite a relentless cycle with like getting out an album and then touring it and then like going straight back to the studio.
Yeah, my one thing I learned from COVID is that I need all facets of the process of being in a band. There was a while where I thought maybe I could just be a studio guy and just write for people, and and just produce and just kind of hide away in the studio. Especially as you start getting a bit older, and when we have wives and kids at home and stuff like that. So I thought that, and then COVID hit, and then I realized that I didn't get the same feeling from writing the songs at home if I didn't get to see them connect in the live format. It's like, because it's like, say we've just written this album, we love it, we're really proud of it, of all parts of it. But if I didn't get the chance to stand on stage and see people singing those songs back to me, it would almost feel a bit vacuous.
Yeah, I hear that. One of the songs that I love like singing, I've literally, as soon as the sun has come out in the UK, I've been like, right, I'm getting out there, I'm sticking my headphones in, is Olympia. And I mean, there's so many that I've like written out that I like, but this one was my favorite to sing. And it just kind of, I don't know like, what is Olympia? I asked Alexa and she told me that it was a place in America. Kind of don't feel like you're singing about that. I think I saw on your Twitter somewhere that it's got something to do with Taylor Swift. Where did she come
Oh,
into this?
I don't know the whole story about this, but I think there was like Mason wrote this song. And I think there was some kind of reference in a Taylor Swift song that said something forever, and I think he was like, oh, that's cool. And then when Mason was writing the melody, it was in lockdown, and it was when the Olympics were on. Remember, everyone was watching the Olympics because
Yeah.
and yeah, and he just kind of thought Olympia forever, kind of based on that, just sounded cool, really.
Okay, yeah, fair. Inspired by Taylor, but kind of not really.
Mm.
Was there a song that maybe almost didn't make it onto the album because, like, did you have loads of songs to choose from before you actually wrapped it up to the album? And was there one that maybe almost didn't make it?
Yeah, actually, there was we had 70 songs for this record.
Wow.
Yeah, which is quite a lot. We when we first started the band, we had like this plethora of songs that was like because basically what happened is I'd been in bands before, and where you like write your first 9 songs, and then you go, oh, I've got 45 minutes, should book a gig at a club or something like that. But sometimes your first 9 songs, like only 2 of them are actually any good, and and then so all your mates come to the first gig, and then by the 4th gig, like they stop coming, and it's kind of heartbreaking. And I was like, that's happened to me a couple of times. So with this band, we were like, oh, I think we're onto something good. So when we first started the band, we wrote like maybe about like 70 to 100 songs. And then from that, we had 9 really good ones, and yeah, and then so it meant that when we started playing live, and then we had our first album, we've always been ahead of the curve. So we've just always been adding to this song list, and some of them have been in this list since the start, for like 10 years now. But yeah, I was trying to think, what song nearly didn't make it? Actually, 21 Year Vacancy. That one's been around. Like I wrote that song when I was 21, and I'm 33 now. So that one's been around for a while. So that one was kind of on the cusp. And Something We're Overcoming as well, which is like the trancey kind of summary one, because Mason wrote that song, and we'd never really planned for it to be a DMA'S track. It's quite trancey and poppy and stuff like that. But these days we kind of just have fun. Like maybe like back in the day we would have been more serious about that. But now when we just have these weird kind of tracks like that, we're just like, oh, let's just put it out and see how it goes.
We're getting lots of questions from people coming in. I have been told I've got one more to ask you. I wanted to, okay, maybe I can, no, I can't even imagine. Let's talk about the closing track, Dakar. I mean, electronic, longer. I love the vocal sort of elements, kind of melodies that come in, and it ties it into the album. Can you talk to me a bit about this song, and what was the decision making in sticking it on the end? Is it like the sign of what's to come, or is it just because it was quite different some of the rest of the sounds in the album?
I guess we don't really know what's to come yet, but I think the main reason we chucked it on at the end is because it's like the long. It's one of those elongated dance tracks. I think it goes for 5.5 minutes or something like that. So I kind of like the idea of having this vibey kind of dance track, just like to close the record. And the fact it is a bit different. We've never released a dance track that's that heavy before. But yeah, that was like one of those lockdown things where we're kind of like, just experimenting with different genres. And that was an instrumental originally, and then it was really Tommy came down. I live in Melbourne now, and Tommy came down to Melbourne, and we kind of just partied for 2 days straight, and did all those and put all those vocal melodies on it.
Sick. So it actually like was kind of also tied together through a party as well, which I love. All right.
Yes.
So we have Leslie from DMA's Facebook page saying, was the fourth album the hardest? Great album and gig this week at Resident Brighton. Thank you.
Oh, nice. Hey, Leslie. Yeah, it was our hardest to make, mainly because I don't know. Other times we'd gone in and just like booked 3 weeks or 2 weeks in the studio and just knocked it out, and then it gets mixed and it's like, and it's kind of done. But with this one, it wasn't really like that. I think we were more picky about like the sounds that were getting getting put in there, and basically what happened is we did 3 weeks in London, then we kind of came back and it was all rushed. It was a bit rushed, and like we'd been away for a while, and so just toured before that, and then we were kind of like, we got the album back, and it was kind of like just like a band in the room, and it was a little bit too clean for us, and basically we took a month off, and we got to kind of just sit with our thoughts of it all, and change bits, and just like I drove up to Sydney to finish the record, and my wife and I were listening to it, and we're like, what's wrong, like why isn't this feeling right? And I think it's a good sign that we're just a bit older. We know what we want now, and still just experimenting. So basically, we got to come in fresh, and we went in with our mate Konstantin Kirsting, who's the producer, and we just like spent another 2 weeks on it, using all the infrastructure of that first 3 weeks where we did a lot of the grunt work. But we got to come in, do this 2 weeks where we got to cut up, use drum samples, do synths, add harmonies, all the kind of cherry on top stuff. But yeah, it was and then even like when we got it mastered, the first master wasn't right. Then we went back 3 times for the mastering. So yeah, it was just like every facet of it felt quite laborious, but worth it in the end.
It's definitely more grown up when you have actual drafts rather than just like submitting the final thing and being like, yep, done. Not going to think about it again.
Exactly.
So,
and there's, I guess there's a bit more on the band's got a bit bigger, and there's a little bit more on the line now,
Jane on DMA's Facebook page is asking, or it's saying, made up, you're finally getting the recognition that you deserve. How does it feel to potentially have a top 3 album?
Oh, it's amazing. It's like, it's really, really surreal, and we can't stress enough just how much it blows us away. Every time we come to the UK, like the fact we're not from here, but everyone's embraced us so warmly, and just like our fans they're the best in the world. They're so passionate, and they sing along to every song, and it's why we do this shit.
What's it like? You must meet so many when you're doing like record stores.
Yes, I've met a lot this week. There's even like, where were we? We're in Bristol, and like a whole family came down. We had like a family photo. It was like,
Oh, that's so nice. It's kind of like going through the family as well. I think I saw some comments of people saying that they're taking their kid like for the first time to go see you guys as a band.
Yeah, super cool, super cool. And actually, like we played at Rough Trade the other day as well, and it's funny with record store gigs, because sometimes people feel a little bit shy because like they're in a shop, you know what I mean? And and they're not as vocal, but everyone was singing along awesomely. It was amazing. And singing along new tracks, which is great, not just the old stuff. Just like, it seems like people are really responding well,
Oh, is there a particular fan favorite from the new album?
At the moment, everybody's saying Thursday's the Weekend is going quite well.
I feel like in the UK that's definitely a vibe. Sarah on your page says, what's your favourite song that you play live that gives you your favourite reaction or vibe from the crowd?
Ooh, that kind of always changes for me. At the moment, it's probably everybody's saying Thursday's the weekend or Olympia, but you can't really go past Silver. You know, it's just you can see people getting quite emotional in the crowd. Something about that song strikes a chord with people, and we feel really lucky to have it in our set.
Terence on the DMA's Facebook page also says, how difficult has it been to choose a set list for this tour now that you have 4 albums and 3 EPs?
Yeah, it's
And 100 singles from the first ever show that you've done.
Yeah, it's funny. It's harder and it's easier because it's harder because yes, there are a lot of songs that we can't play because we're adding the new ones, but it's also easier because we feel like every song we're really, really chuffed with, you know, and there's just so many. It really fills out the set having all these new tracks in there.
I mean, it's a nice problem to have, having loads of bangers to pick from, isn't it?
It's a good one.
All right, well, that is actually all we have time for today. We've loved having Jonny from DMA's join us. Make sure, of course, to treat yourself, especially before it's too late this Friday, to a copy of your own, a physical one of How Many Dreams, now that our episode is over. Pick one up from your local record store, support your local. I'm also, before we go, very excited to announce that the winner of this week's Bowers and Wilkins wireless headphones prize is Leslie on DMA's Facebook page. So make sure to slide into the Record Club's DMs and we'll get those headphones to you. Thank you everyone for joining us and sending in your questions. Our next guest is going to be announced on the Record Club's social media very soon. So make sure you're following us, and all previous episodes are available to watch back on our YouTube channel. Jonny, DMA's, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Jess. Appreciate it. And congrats, Leslie.